Welcome to the Pixel Marketing Show, the podcast for real estate media pros who want to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results. I'm your host, Pete Stagel, founder of Pixel CRM and creator of the Pixel Marketing Method. And every week, we're diving into the systems, strategies, and real stories that help you attract better clients, retain them longer, and grow a real business. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the show. So, it is PMRE week. If you're going to be in Vegas this week, make sure you find me. I'll be wearing Pixel CRM or Pixel Marketing Method gear and a bright green suit. We've got a happy hour book signing event. It'll be Wednesday evening in between some of the other events. But you will need to RSVP to be able to know where we're going to be holding that. We have a suite rented, but until we get there, we won't know what the suite number is. Make sure you RSVP. The link is in the show notes. It's pixelcrm.com/PMRE25, and you can RSVP for the book signing happy hour event. With that, we had our live office hours a couple weeks ago, I think, and a really good conversation came up about how to use in-person networking in these events and the holiday parties and things that are going on now to capture more leads, to segment your list a little bit more, and to ultimately just move the conversation forward on getting new clients. So one of our Pixel CRM users was saying how he is going to be going to some holiday parties, and he's been doing this for years. He's been, they set up a photo booth, which is what they're sponsoring the event with. Is they get to attend the event for free, with this photo booth and some pictures of the event and whatnot, and gives them an opportunity to network with all of their potential clients. And so he goes to these events, sets up the photo booth, and he's uses a photo booth software where he has a QR code or what have you, and they're able to go to the QR code later to get the photos and whatnot. And I asked him if he was how he was doing that and how he was capturing the lead data out of that so that he could follow up with additional messaging later. And he said, "Well, I really am not. And the software doesn't really connect to do that thing." And so it brought up the conversation about how do you best utilize these events and these opportunities to get in front of people. And I used to do this a lot. I was very active in our local association with the YPN committee, with the affiliate committee, golf tournament committee. I was on a lot of the committees where the agents were active in their community, obviously. And what that allowed me to do is I was always around. Everybody knew me. And so I highly recommend that if you're not part of your local association, get involved, because the more you show up in the community of realtors and real estate there, the more that they're going to see you as an expert, the more they're going to see you as a friendly face that they want to do business with. And so, but along with that, and every association is different. I've heard of some associations that are very negative to the sponsors and affiliates, or that they charge an arm and a leg. I'm not saying you have to do this, but it does give you the opportunity. And so my local association was very friendly toward the affiliates. And so we were on the, like I said, the affiliate committee, the YPN committee, a lot of these different committees there. But each of these committees and groups would put on events throughout the year. And I'll get to why we're covering all of this here in a second. But like the YPN committee had a monthly coffee meetup to get all of the agents together to just network and chat about business and whatnot over coffee in the morning. The affiliate committee would do a quarterly networking event. It was like an after hours mixer. And so we would sponsor it with, $20-$30. We would provide food and I think a drink or whatever. And we were able to network with them. And the realtors were free to come. These were great events, and it's not necessarily the event itself that's really advantageous to you. It's all the marketing and all of the communication that it allows you to do leading up to, during, and after the event. And so, um, and this is where a lot of people don't take advantage of these opportunities that are there to the fullest. And that, a lot of people will show up to these networking events. They'll stand in the corner. They might talk to a couple of the people that they know, um, and then they wonder why it's not working out for them. And to, perfectly fair, I'm one of those guys. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not really the one to go out and find people to talk to and stick myself into middle of conversations. I will typically talk to the people I know and whatnot. And so I developed a lot of these strategies and these systems from a need. It's like, I need to get more out of these events and stuff. How do I do that? And so that, what I'm about to tell you, is all stuff that I used to do in my business. And quite frankly, we're doing this with Pixel CRM and PMRE as well. So just keep that in mind. I am actively using these marketing strategies with in business now. So what I discovered was that every opportunity I have, I want to communicate, I want to capture leads, and I want to segment them so I can see where people are and get and provide appropriate messaging at the right time. So what these coffee meetups do, what the quarterly networking events and after hours mixers and stuff did for me in this particular instance, was it gave me a reason to reach out to them, to my entire list, my clients, stuff, and invite them to the event and say, hey, we're part of the affiliate community where we're doing an after hours mixer on the third Friday of the month. We'd love to see you there. As a special bonus, if you come find me at the event, I'll buy you a drink, or I will. We have a coupon for a free drone add-on that I'll give you, or something. What that, and I'll get to why that's important. But you communicate, and now you've got a reason to communicate. You're inviting them to an event. This gives you a couple of times too. You can put it out on, send an email, do a couple of social posts. Leading up to the event, you can do a couple of emails, and hey, just if you're gonna not doing anything this day, come on and join us for this after hours mixer, free food, blah blah blah. Come see me. What that does, though, is that gives you all those touch points with your current clients and whoever else is on your list. So I would send this to all of your clients and all of your people who have opted into your newsletter, which are leads who have said, yes, I like what you have to say, tell me more. All of those people should be in your mass communication list. And so you're going to email all of them about this. You're not going to email your cold leads. That's a no-no. Don't do that. These are all people who have said, yes, tell me more. So you're emailing all of those people. You're keeping, with a reason to reach out to them, which makes it so that you don't have to send as many newsletters if you're doing it actively, sending them stuff like this. Then going up to the event. During the event, you're going to take some photos, even if they're just cell phone photos. Take a couple of photos of you with people at the event and what it looks like, because you're going to use those to post on social media. Of course, again, you want to be active in the communities that your clients are active in, and you'll also want to send those email out as an email later. And so, by having people find you at the event, now you've got people coming to you to talk to you. And so the more that people come to you to talk to you, the more that you're staying top of mind, the more that they're going to refer other people to you and say, hey, you got to go talk to my media guy over here or this guy over here. And that's how you generate more buzz around you and around, what you're doing at events like that you're just, tagging along on. So that helped me dramatically because, like I said, I'm not that extrovert. I'm great when people come up to me and start talking and want to talk about business. I'm good about that. But I'm not the one that's going to go out and insert myself into other people's conversations. And so that little strategy right there got my in-person events so much more productive. Because I've been to a ton of events where I'd come home as like, that was a waste of time. I didn't even talk to anybody new. I didn't get any leads. I didn't do nothing. That was useless. And so little tweaks, little strategies help you get more out of that. Now, that's great for those events that you're just kind of piggybacking on. And I highly recommend doing that rather than putting on your own events. You can, obviously, but it works out better that way. You do client appreciation events or what have you, but it's easier to do other people's events. Now, we're going into the holiday season. And with that, we have a ton of holiday parties and awards dinners and association events and stuff like that you can absolutely use to sponsor and get in front of larger groups of people. I used to do this a lot. The YPN committee, again, they put on they did a Halloween party, and I would sponsor that with photos. So we would go around and take event photos of the event. I used to sponsor the golf committee, the golf tournament, and we would do the photos for the golf tournament. And then we would also sponsor the awards gala, and we would take the photos at the awards gala of all the awards winner and some of the event photography. And I'm not an event photographer. I got into real estate media because I liked taking photos of abandoned places and documenting, that type of experience that I was already going through, and go document the properties and all that. That's the part that I like. I've never liked taking photos of people. But it in my situation, it worked out. It would, people aren't looking for, highly edited photos. They just want to, see what's, how it came out. So I would just do, standard photos. I would lighten them on whatever, make sure that they looked good. But I would just take photos. By doing that, it got me, again, networking with a crowd, because I'd be out taking photos of the people and whatnot. It gave me a reason to talk to people. And it's like, yeah, we're the real estate media company. We're just sponsoring the event with some event photography, whatnot. But I'm able to go around the entire event with a reason. And what I would do, and again, I always about lead capture, and this is kind of what one of the guys, going back to the question on the live Q&A, was about, is how do you generate leads out of that? And so what we would do is, and it really depends on how you're doing, your photo booth or your event photography. But what we would do is I'd create business cards, and on the front was my business and what we did and our website, just pretty basic. On the other side was a QR code that said "Scan me," and we would usually use the logo of the event. So if it was the awards gala, we would put the logo of the awards gala, whatever image on the bottom. And what that would do is I would have a whole stack of those business cards. Whenever I would take photos of people, I said, "Hey, go here after, later or after the event, and you can download the photos from the event." And it would just be, that QR code would send them to a landing page with a form on it saying, access awards gala photos here. And they'd put in their name, email, and phone number. And then I would send them to I was using Pixie Set as a gallery, but whatever the gallery was, and I would send them to there. Now, what that allows you to do is it allows you to communicate at least a little bit about that whole, about downloading the photos, how they can use the photos, what have you. And so you put it back right into a little nurture sequence. And that little nurture sequence is what then leads to your introductory offer, just like it does anything else. These events ultimately are just another transitional offer. You're getting people to raise their hand, say, "I like what you have to say, tell me a little bit more." And that's it. And so by giving them, the event photos and whatnot, now you're able to nurture them along a little bit. And of course, if people want to opt out, they can unsubscribe. But once you've delivered on the event photos, you've maybe sent them a video or two on how they can download and use those event photos, warmed them up a little bit about your business. Hey, we're a real estate media company. We love sponsoring these events because it kind of gets us in front of new agents that we might not have worked with before. And then you go into your introductory offer sequence where you introduce the introductory offer, and then you nurture them that way and get them to claim the offer, just like you do in the rest of the process. And so all of these events then just tie into that whole process. And so all you're really needing to change is that the initial delivery email for whatever the event is, it goes to the right gallery and whatnot. But it all just plugs right in, and you can go right into your introductory offer. And so those are great little tools to do it along those ways. One of the conversations that we brought up was that not everybody wants to do business cards, not everybody wants to scan QR codes and or fill out forms, or what happens if they miss the QR code or the form or whatever. This is where we're going to follow up on everybody who went to the event with the link to the photos. So if you're inviting people to the event, at least everybody on your list, inviting them, maybe dropping little photos of behind the scenes of you at the event on social media, all linking to, hey, if you want to see the photos of this, go here. That way you're giving everybody opportunities to get back to that opt-in form, to opt into your funnel, to opt into your process there. And of course, if they're already a client, you don't send them to your introductory offer. You just do a quick filter of are they a client and not. And you just don't send it to them. But this all allows you to actually start gaining prospects and clients out of these events and these networking opportunities, to where they're actually doing something for you rather than just showing up and we do photos, which is love to do your next listing. I'm not good at talking to other people about my business unless they start talking about it to me. So those are great little processes. All of that you can do in Pixel CRM. We even have some templates in there. We have a text enter giveaway process that you can actually implement, and you just change up a little bit for that. That was the other thing I was going to say is that you can actually, if you don't want to do the QR code, you can do a text to enter, or text to get info. And sometimes that's easier. And so you just have a QR code that you can actually generate a QR code in Pixel that when you scan it, it pops open a message and it says, here, send this text to get the link to the gallery. This is a little bit simpler of an opt-in. And then once it pops up on their phone, they just click send. And so you just say, hey, scan this QR code and just send this text message, and we'll let you know when the gallery is ready. That way you can put them into that funnel. And again, what you'll send them is a link to the landing page with the form so they can access the gallery. During that live Q&A, a lot of people said, I never even thought about gating it behind lead capture, because a lot of these people I already know. I already know these people. I already have their contact info. And this is where segmenting really comes in. Even if you already have the contact info for a lot of these people, which if you've done a lot of the scraping and the cold marketing that we've taught you, you're going to have a lot of those contact info anyway. But you want them to self-segment. You want them to call out, hey, I was at this event. I want to learn more. They're raising their hand, and they're able to get the information that you promised them, but also you can then direct them where you want them to go next. The whole concept about a CRM, it's customer relationship management. It's managing the relationship and making sure that you're communicating the right information at the right time to the right person. And you do that by segmenting people and getting them to raise their hand at various points so you can communicate with them appropriately. I'm not a fan of just blasting out the same thing to everybody all the time. You need to be communicating with them with specific information that's appropriate for them, that's relevant to them. And you do that by segmenting your list, by having them opt in, by having them give you the same information again and again, but it's them raising their hand saying, yes, I like what you have to tell me more. Or, yes, I do want to get information about this. Yes, I want more information. And that's how you get the relationship to go from prospect to client, is you nurture them along by giving them the appropriate information. So hopefully you'll be able to use some of this information, especially like I said, we're going into the holidays, and there's a ton of events and parties and things that you can use these strategies coming right up. And this is the perfect time of year, kind of in the off season, as we go into the winter for a lot of parts of the country, parts of the world, and you're able to capitalize on this by using these strategies. One of the Pixel CRM users, I think, posted in the group, the Real Estate Media Pros group. If you're not a member, click down in the show notes, and we've got a link to the Real Estate Media Pros group. You don't need to be a user of Pixel CRM to join it, but join that group. In there, one of our Pixel CRM users was saying that after that call, he sent out an email to a bunch of his offices and said, hey, it's the holidays, a lot of events coming up. We have we'd love to help sponsor your event with event photography and whatnot, maybe even a video. Reply back and we'll get you on our calendar. And so he did that, and he got several positive responses from brokerages that are doing holiday parties and awards galas and all of these things that he's already going to be able to get in front of all of these people and just move his business forward. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I wanted you guys to have this strategy to be able to actually use as you go into the holiday season. And if you're at PMRE this week, come find me. We have the book signing, happy hour. We also do have some PMRE specials. So make sure that you RSVP at the link down below. And come find me and chat. I love chatting about marketing and strategies and of course the systems that can help you grow and scale your real estate media business. So that's it for today, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Pixel Marketing Show. If you're ready to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results, grab your free copy of the Pixel Marketing Method at pixelmarketingmethodbook.com. If this episode helped you, share it with another real estate media business owner. Make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Until next time.